watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And together we are... And how's every single one of you tonight? We're just have a great show for you guys because the premiere of Smackdown, another season of this bullshit show, really like filled with like a load of crap today, right, Jean-Paul? I think that
this was like if we want to call this bullshit, this was like the cow had an empty stomach, he filled it up, and he took a fresh steaming pile because this was bad.
Yeah,
this show only had one good segment, and maybe the segment really stood out because it was surrounded by said bullshit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this was awful.
It was a bad show.
I mean, this was just all the matchups. If you really look at it and you really like look at each and every match, none of them mattered for anything except the one segment that wasn't even a match that made sense. The Bayley and Sasha contract signing.
That's the only thing that, like you said, the build for Hell in a Cell was not good.
And we'll get into it, but think about every match was like, you had what started the show. Jeff Hardy, who's on Raw, Lars Sullivan on SmackDown. They had a match, and it's like, okay, now they're on their own brand. So what was the point of that?
It was the actor, right? The actor from Forbidden
for the Forbidden Films. And even, I will get into it in the segment what Triple H said, which I thought was funny. But, a lot of these matches, you have, the New Day and Big E's going to Raw. And it's like, they have these Raw versus SmackDown guys, but it all means nothing. So this whole show was pointless.
It was really pointless. It wasn't good, and of course, like, I when Jay got a little bit of offense, I was really loving it. But then, so we will touch every single thing, every single move, every single detail, like we always do. Thank you so very much, family, for being with every single one of us every single time. So thank you so very much on that. Don't forget to check this out. It was released today, and it's like our NXT UK review. Ilya Dragunov pins Walter. See, like the surprise face, Jean-Paul, right there.
Yeah,
even like Dragunov is like, great. This is actually an hour, great show. Good wrestling, to the point, brutality, violence, absolutely amazing. Check that out. We have a great review on that, family. So now, let's focus on SmackDown, Jean-Paul. Unfortunately, SmackDown opened like the premiere season with everybody, the new roster. The new intro video had already the new members of the show, like as you guys can see right there, Selena Vega, Daniel Bryan returns, Seth Rollins right there.
So why does Daniel Bryan look like a young college professor?
Yeah, I would like the GM, like the GM of SmackDown one more time. I'm like, can you be a wrestler?
Yeah, like everybody else is like, because I mean, Braun Strowman, he comes out of G.I. Joe. That's his new like gimmick, I guess. But pretty much everyone else was in like ring gear and stuff and looked legit except Bayley. But Bayley always looks good, so I'll never insult her. But I mean, they were all out here, and it's like, why were they all out here? And then we see who's in the ring, and it's like, oh, okay, they have to suck up to, the boss and the, I'm Stephanie! And
yeah, and the girl that, like, absolutely, like, just loves to do some kind of, like, things with Triple H, and that's why her voice really absolutely sucks. So, like, they will just say, hey, we have a great show for you guys tonight. First live right there because it wasn't a great show.
No.
And, like, we had, like, featured, like, these guys because, like, it's going to be their farewell match. So this, to me, didn't really make a lot of sense. I don't really care for these guys. I've said, like, they should have done that years ago. I'm like Kevin Owens right there. That's how I feel, right there. I just don't understand why they will do that. And then pretty much we had like a big brawl, right, Jean-Paul? They just went at it.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, and beforehand, the thing I touched on with Triple H earlier, he's like, oh yeah, the freak, and he's like, he's a freak, super freak, he's super freaky, and it's like, it's funny that he, was doing like that for Lars Sullivan because it's like that's probably the music that was playing in some of his Forbidden Films. So
yes, that's why he's the actor of Forbidden Films.
Yeah, so I mean that was funny, and I feel like Triple H is like that was like a nod to like why would you say that? Because they do call him the freak, but to be like he's freaky, that takes a whole new connotation on it. But
yeah, remember that we used to call that someone that like used to be a super freak also. They used to Yeah, so like that's what it is. So absolutely right, Jean-Paul, and like you, Daniel Bryan is laughing from the joke.
Yep.
And then this ended in kind of like a brawl right there. Everybody, all the superstars is going at it because we don't know.
I didn't get this, and to me that like not that this segment was good, but this was just like the icing on the shit cake. Where I was like, why do they all fight? What's the point of this?
Because we don't know how to end a segment, Jean-Paul. That's what it is. We don't know how to end a segment, so it's like, oh yeah, you know what? The whole roster is there. Our new roster is there, and the old roster. So just have all of them fight. Until, Jean Paul, until the actor of Forbidden Films.
There he is.
Super freak like Sullivan. He comes out and he's like absolutely ready to fight. I mean, they're giving her the push that like they've been hinting for years. And he's like, did you do Forbidden Films? Yes, I did. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's the face he makes when the roles are reversed in the Forbidden Films.
Oh yeah. He has the mouth open when he was getting some things right there. So like he had a match with Jeff Hardy, and this match was like a pretty much to pull him over. Right, Jean Paul? Like it's just.
Because what did I say? This is a SmackDown. This is SmackDown we're watching, correct? Because it's mostly Monday Night Raw's roster, so I want to make sure. Okay, this is SmackDown. Jeff Hardy's a Monday Night Raw superstar. He had this match. He loses. It's like, okay. Yeah, he beat a name Jeff Hardy, but there's no feud. There's no nothing. If anything, you should have had just, Lars Sullivan come out when everyone was on the stage and throw everybody around.
Yeah, and
then he's the one who causes all the instead of everybody just fighting themselves. But yeah, the match it was good. Jeff looked good. He had a lot of his offense, of course. Though a lot of his signature moves that he uses to win matches. Lars kicked out at one, kicked out at two.
The trick of fate. He didn't sell Whisper in the Wind. Neither of those moves. I don't think he did the Swanton though.
No, I don't think. Yeah,
at least they protected that. But in the end, Jean Paul is like the freak accident, but Robert calls it the forbidden accident.
Yeah,
the forbidden accident because he's the actor of Forbidden Films, and he pins Jeff Hardy 1, 2, 3, easy. And like you said, there's no feud because Jeff Hardy is gonna be on Monday Night Raw, and he's gonna the actor is just gonna stay on.
This is like you picked up 2K20 and you hit square, and it's up to random guys. Let's do it. No rhyme or reason to this match.
No. And then you end up like this.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, he did attack him on the debut. He beat up Hardy, I believe, but it's like, what was the point? It's like, okay, it wasn't like they kept Jeff on SmackDown or moved both of them to Raw to have a feud. So, okay, he beats up Jeff Hardy twice. Is that going to be his claim to fame? Oh, I was in Forbidden Films. I beat Jeff Hardy twice. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's all he can say for now. We'll see what they do with him. I mean, he's going to be like an essential part of SmackDown, I think. He's going to be the second heel. Before Roman,
he's going to be fed to Roman. Yep.
So like we'll see what happens. So on that, so now Jean Paul, we get of course Daniel Bryan is going to enter the Thunderdome, and I love Daniel Bryan. I respect the guy, but the way like you said, he came out like as the college like teacher, like that every girl wants to like have like an affair with. So I wasn't like really thrilled with this, and what happened after this, it was even worse. Because this, to me, it was absolutely terrible. But before that, Jean Paul, we got a little package on Bianca Belair. This is really cool. See, this is good. Like, how like they sell like the hair and the whip, and like how like they're really making her feel like legit.
I really liked how they used footage of her when she was an actual like a track star, not like when WWE filmed their little vignettes, but her actual like competing in track, and they showed that stuff. That was really cool. And, I like the music they played. It really hyped you up, and this was good. And, they show all this stuff. And let's just mention it now, and then we don't have to mention it throughout the show. They went to, like, Fox, like, football people on NFL, and, like, they don't know anything about wrestling.
Like, asking, like, who's going to win. Like,
they don't know anything about wrestling, and this was awful. But the one thing, the one thing they said it, and everybody said it, and it's obvious with all the, production value with the video packages that they're doing for her. Bianca Belair, they're really going to push her. So, I mean, that's good for her because she didn't get the opportunity really in NXT to hold championship gold. So, hopefully on SmackDown, we see something.
They're putting a lot of stocks in Bianca, so like you said, is this good? Because like she deserves it, like she was never able to win the NXT Women's Championship, so why can't she be like a
and she's a far better wrestler than her husband.
Oh yeah, well yeah, a wrestler.
I like Ford, but Bianca is good.
Bianca is a lot better, but I mean, for at least the 10-star frog splash that he does because he just has so much height in it and anything. But like this was good, like you said, like this woman will be the star of 2021, and we can predict that this is going to be the breakthrough girl. But like, this is the worst part of the show for me. You have these three stooges, these three idiots. I don't care. I'm sorry how you guys feel about the New Day, but I've seen this they even said it for freaking like 5-6 years, even more than that. I'm tired of it, and the same thing that they did with the Shield, the same story. Oh yeah, we're gonna be split up. Oh, we had these great memories. Oh, we're all sad because No, we're not gonna become the WWE Tag Team Champion. And once I'm not buying this. I even told you like this took way too long. Why are we watching this? Why am I watching this for? What? I know they're gonna win. Why am I supposed to care? I just didn't get it.
Yeah, not even that. It's I say it in a Monday Night Raw. The Thunderdome is the Thunderdome. They don't have Thunderdomes all across America. When Braun Strowman showed up, he's like, "Oh, I showed up all the way here from SmackDown." I said, "What is SmackDown on the East Coast and Raw's on the West Coast?" No, the Thunderdome is the Thunder. It's the one building. So when they're like, "Oh, Big E's going to Raw," no, you're in the same building.
Yeah.
So it's like kayfabe's dead. They're like, we know that it doesn't mean anything. And then you said we know they're going to win this match. But I get it. They got to tell the story, but don't drag it out for 25 minutes. And this fake crying and all this other bullshit. And it's like, they should just be like, hey, we've been through a lot. But like, hey, Kofi, look what happened when I went on my singles run. Big E, the path is, laid for you. And even if it's not, look at you. You'll make your own path and you'll be champion too. We're going to support you.
Legit. It's time for us to split. It's not that we're done. But it's like even rock bands, groups, they're like, okay, do your solo thing, kind of like check the waters. If it is bad, you come back and we'll be legit again.
Yeah.
Why are you guys crying? It's like, it needed to be done. They won more championships, like so many tag team championships that is already like, is a blasphemy. It's an atrocity that they have that many reigns.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Charlotte Flair. When you have that many reigns in such a short amount of time, they don't mean anything because it means like that. It just means that you lost the belts that many times. The only title reign, I shouldn't say the only, but the main one is just that record-breaking title reign for the New Day.
And
all the other ones when they win it for like
they did that to go against Demolition because one member of Demolition was actually sued them.
Yeah, like concussion
and all of that. So to get back at them, let's do that. So it didn't. This I did like. A mini bar reunion. Don't they look good? They should be the tag champs. They should be like, take that boogie out. Yeah, I can see you. All good. Like so, like this was good. Nakamura kind of looks out of place right there, but at least Cesaro and Sheamus, that was a good team. The bar was good. They were brutal. They knew how to like carry divisions. So I like this, a mini reunion by them, and then just said that like they're gonna spoil the party and they're gonna send the New Day with a bitter end. And it's not Pete Dunne, but that's what
I was gonna say. Yeah, like is this like a the handicap? They're bringing in the bruiserweight.
Yes, but like Sheamus O'Grady, he didn't say that. So like he's like, well, just gonna spoil the party, like the Beatles said. So
And like he said, Caleb Braxton, like 4 foot tall.
Well, like look at this. Look at this. It's like what? It's like a baby, like 10-year-old interviewing like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
What's going on? So the match quality, I think it was a little decent. 6 guys that like know how to put a good show. Kofi, like of course they did the dives, they did all the the regular spots. But like I'm glad that like at least in this situation, Michael Cole even said, hey, mini bar reunion. Sheamus is right there. Cesaro, they still look at a team. They did their moves like they used to do when they were a team. So that was cool. I really enjoyed that. What do you think about the match quality there?
Yeah, it was good for, like I did like seeing the bar back. I thought this was good heel chemistry, but, and I like the bar as much as I like Nakamura and Cesaro, I like the bar more. So I'm like, maybe you reunite them Sheamus is on Raw, so never mind. But see, look, that's what happens when you book the show. You forget who the fuck's on which show.
Can I live?
Yeah, but I mean, Nakamura, I still would like to see him be split and be babyface again. But, if you turn a babyface, he's probably not going to have his old music anymore because CFO. So that's done. But speaking of Nakamura and this match, I thought he was going to be the one to eat the pin because Sheamus, it's like, okay, he's the fella. And Cesaro, they were really putting over Cesaro in this match. And he looked good. I mean, all the heels look good. They isolated Kofi for a while, really beat him down. But, they said that Cesaro was like the greatest tag team enemy to the New Day because of like all the things with Tyson Kidd and then with the bar, and he's always then Nakamura, he's always been able to get the upper hand on the New Day. So I did like that, how they're putting Cesaro over. But what were they going to see, like, Cesaro swing into a Kinshasa 1 2 3 and done? No, of course it was going to be.
And I see that. Yeah, and that would have been legit because it's like finally give me like an ending that I'm going to be happy. No, You know, they always have to give me a sour end, not a bitter end, so that we're not keeping remembering of like Pete Dunne. But in the end, like you said, they did the big ending, and then they did like I think it was that tag team move that they do. It's like I don't remember the Express or something.
The Midnight Hour.
Midnight Hour. There you go. Not the midnight. That's what is Express. Midnight. There you go. So right there, you know, boom. And of course, they have to pretend that they're crying one more time. It's like, is Big E going to AEW? Is that what they cry, Jean Paul?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Is the Will Hobbs like he went?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna feud. No, it'll be Will Hobbs and Big E will be like what was it? Piccolo and Nail. They'll fuse together. They'll be like, oh, we gotta combine our powers.
It's gonna be Kamisama, right? Kamisama. Yeah. So like, you know, like what? And then right there. Okay, done. Everybody's supposed to cry, like you said. Yeah. Okay, whatever. You know, we don't care. What we do care is about our boy Fidel Castro, because Fidel Castro had a promo in something that I'm not happy about. When you want to ask why. So, you know, Jean Paul, the one thing that like I'm not really, you know, excited about is like this. Fidel Castro, you know, our IC champ Sami Zayn, and they had a promo with a guy that, like, according to him, he can't even talk. And that's, he can talk, you know, but like he has, and he was just bothering Otis. And something that I want to tell you is like they kind of tease this. So I hope that like Otis doesn't cash in on Zayn. I hope that like when Otis cashes in, he cashes in on Roman. I hope that, but like maybe if they do this, I'm gonna be really upset because you know Money in the Bank winner, they need to cash in on the Universal Champion or the main champion, and the IC champ.
Also, the IC champ, besides being held by Strowman, I can't think of the last guy. And no offense to Otis, but I can't think of the last guy who held that belt that wasn't like an actual legit wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like Lashley held it, but like Lashley's pretty good. You know, some people are like, oh, he sucks, but you know, he's good. He's decent for like a guy who's like a big bodybuilder looking guy. You know, he has the legit moves. So I can't think of the last guy besides Strowman who was bullshit. And if you put the IC champ on, you know, Otis, that's not a good look. You know, if you put the Universal Championship on him for a couple weeks, I'm like, okay, because that's the world heavyweight, it makes sense. But the IC Championship is for like, you know, like the wrestler. You know what I mean? It's like that's for that guy, like the.
And then the guy that you're trying to build to be, you know, champion at some point, Universal Champion, WWE Champion is the guy that is going to be.
Well, it used to be. I don't think it is anymore. Because do you think they're going to put that belt on, you know, the heavyweight belt on Andrade, or you know, are they going to put that on Nakamura or Sami Zayn?
It was like Rusev, remember? Oh, nobody gives a fuck about the IC belt. So you know, right there, you know, that's the thing.
Like, okay.
Well, okay, yeah, we know. Hey, thanks for the memo. We get it.
That's why you gave it to the Miz 13 times.
Yeah, and that's why I gave Jericho 9 times, and he has the record of it. You know, that's why. All right, we understand. Memo, get it, clear, done. There you go, Daniel Bryan. He comes back, and they go, Bree and my kids are in the crowd in the Thunderdome. When he did that, I'm already dead, Jean Paul.
Oh yeah. I was like, I mean, if he would have been. Yeah, if he would have just mentioned them, but not pointed out to them and been like, hi, you know, blah, blah, blah. If he'd have been like, you know, my family's watching me, you know, here in the Thunderdome, and, you know, I haven't wrestled for a while, but like, hey, you know, we got Sami Zayn, you know, I could go after him. I could go, you know, whatever. Like, I can pick my shot. Like, you know, it all begins right here on the season premiere of SmackDown. Yeah. And then you go into Seth Rollins coming out. But instead, they have to do it in the most cringy bullshit way because they act like the point of the show isn't about winning matches and winning championships. They act like the point of the show is just, I don't even know. They don't know what the point of the show
is. Like, you know, you make sure that like you have to say like, oh, my wife and my family's watching. Hey, hi baby. I'm like, no shit, I don't care if like your wife is watching. I'm sorry, like you're a wrestler. You get paid to wrestle. You don't get paid to like be saying hi to your family.
Yeah, save that for your failed bullshit show that's not on anymore.
Yeah, like save that for that. Yeah, I don't care. So like you said, like Monday Night Raw Messiah, or like now it's like Friday Smackdown, you know, show Messiah came out, and he's just like they're teasing the rivalry here. So this will be good. At least match quality will be really, really good. You know, these two guys are gonna tear the house down. It's gonna be legit. I really like that. But, you know, aside of that, like I said, I was already dead for, like, the cringiness. But at least this got me a little bit up. You know, they didn't completely resuscitate me. But resuscitate me. There you go. That's the word. Resuscitate me. But at least it was something decent that, like, they're teasing some action between these two guys. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I really like this. And because the matches, I can't remember the last time we saw these two guys wrestle.
Probably the Shield days.
So it's been a long time. So obviously Daniel Bryan, it hasn't been since his return. So this will be really good. This will be, the match quality, like you said. This is 2 heavyweight championship caliber guys. This will be fantastic, and I like this. I love the promo. I loved everything. He goes back to the basics. Are you going to be on the right side of history or the right side of, whatever, righteousness? You're going to join with me and everything. And then the Mysterios come out. And that's
they start attacking each other, right? That's the first thing that happened. They start to attack each other. Like Seth Rollins started going at Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan was able to fight off. So that was good. And then you see kind of like Rollins on his own, and then like you said, the Mysterios came out. So I don't know what to say on that, because like the storyline is not there anymore, but it's still there. So I don't know. And in the end, Buddy Murphy was right there too. So yeah, walk me through that spot jump.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, so they came out, and then Daniel Bryan, Rollins is like, "Oh, you're gonna join up with me, right?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "No, like you're bullshit." So he's like, "This is your problem." He's like, "Me and Ray are legit. We're both baby faces. Didn't you read the depth chart? Didn't you see we're both on the baby face list? Like, you idiot." So he leaves the ring. He's like, duh. And then then Murphy comes in. And you see all this, like you have in the Rope Break archives right here. And I would have just had Rollins and Daniel Bryan have their feud, because let's see here. Seth Rollins beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio. He beat Dominic Mysterio. He's not going to beat Angie or Aaliyah. So, he's done. Now the feud is Murphy. Murphy's the one who's hitting on the daughter. Murphy's the one who, him and Dominic have heat. They're beating each other up every time they see each other. Just do the feud with that. Just have it be Buddy Murphy, because Buddy Murphy could be like, "No, I'm legit, guys. I'm good. I'm trying to be babyface too now." And they're like, "No, there's that gringo. Get him!" And then they start whooping his ass. And then it's like, no,
You said it. I didn't say it for the record. I didn't say it. So, and then in the end, like you said, Murphy came out, and then he tried to shake the Mysterios' hand, and he's like, "No, it was not legit yet. SA, it's not legit yet. SA." So, like you said, I would like one feud be completely over to start something different for Seth Rollins. So I would much rather like to see that, Jean Paul. I just want to see, the conclusion and then the beginning. Don't mix them up, because you're gonna lose them. I will say the brilliancy, or how good the feud with
the impact. What's Buddy Murphy doing in the impact zone?
Well, it will be a good idea if he goes to the Impact Zone. But like you said, he will Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan is a feud of its own, so they can sell that easy. They don't. It's not no brainer for you to sell that feud. So why can you not have that as their own feud instead of just doing?
Yeah, I don't know why you gotta, like you said. Why does Seth Rollins need to be in 2-3 different things? Because him and Murphy's still a feud. With him and the Mysterios, him and Bryan. So that's 3 feuds. You spread the guy too thin. He's only going to put a third of his effort now into each feud.
Oh yeah, and
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so I don't like that at all, and it doesn't make sense. Once again, I don't think that they're doing that the right way, Jean Paul. But we had a thing with the Street Profits, because they're gonna have a title match against Robert Glorious Roode and Dolph Ziggler, but this turned out to be an absolute shit show. Absolutely, didn't come out well. Even the match ended in a disqualification, right, Jean Paul? So
this wasn't good.
3 minutes of a match, and then it ended up being a disqualification. So do we care? Do we even want to talk about this?
No, this was. I don't understand why they were having the match. They had the match with the New Day and lost. Okay, now you deserve another title opportunity. How many times does Ziggler get title opportunities that he doesn't deserve, and he loses?
Yeah, and also they focus, like you said, the whole show was more focusing on like the one show that they had a year ago. Remember when this debuted on Fox? Is more like superstars. For example, right here they had Ric Flair on the Thunderdome. So he's the Nature Boy's having a great time. Yeah. So it's can you focus about your show, the quality of what you're putting on, rather than these things? But like you said, in the end, it was more like the heels going against the tag team champions, and Robert Roode hit the spine buster right there on Angelo Dawkins. It was good. And then we got to see Montez Ford doing the splash onto Ziggler and Roode, but you see the feud is going to carry on. That's pretty much the only news that we got.
Yeah, and I don't know why you couldn't have had the heel stand tall at the end. Okay, yeah, you didn't win the belts. That's, it's fine, whatever. At this point, I don't expect them to do anything right, but, then at least just have the heel stand tall to signify, okay, it's not over yet. Because then when Ford comes off the top and takes him out and does the Ultimate Warrior, then it's okay. Now the heels go off the air looking like idiots. And if the last thing you see is the heels on their backs losing, when I see them next week, I'm not going to think, oh, yeah, they're going to get the titles now. I'm like, oh, look, there's these losers again.
Yeah, pretty much. And, how am I supposed to, think that, their Street Fighters are going to lose those titles?
Yeah, how am I supposed to get behind them?
Yeah.
No, the only person who wants to get behind them is Forbidden Films, and that's for different reasons.
Yeah, Forbidden Films is a different story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. What
does Otis say? Oh yeah.
So oh yeah, let's go to the contract signing for Hell in a Cell. See, this is the best thing.
This was the only good thing.
Yeah, in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, this happened to be they rank all the women, right, Jean Paul? Right here, girl in our left. Bailey was number 1. Sasha was number 5, I think.
Yes.
And, this is good because Bailey has had the best year in her career. This girl has gone from being, so childish, so nice, so, sweet and everything. And now she's like a complete bitch. And, she sells that. Her character is great. I love this girl. I don't love her as much as you do, but I love her work. She's amazing at what she does. And Sasha is helping her out on every single step of the way because the rivalry sets on its own. You know that. Everybody knows that. This rivalry is so easy to book. If you book this wrong, you don't know how to book a show.
You can't. You can't book this wrong. It's like it's one of the things where you're just like even Vince is probably just go out there. He probably respects these women enough. I'm not saying he respects them fully, but he respects them enough to probably be like, hey, people are loving this feud. Just go out and do your thing. You guys know our rules. You know what you can do, what you can't do. Just go out there and do it. I don't think anybody's pulling the strings behind this because this is too good, especially the back and forth that they do. Yes. She's like, Bailey's like, oh yeah, how long am I, champions? What is it, Michael Cole? 300 some days. I lost count. It's so legit. And, she's putting herself over, and then she's like, I did it all by myself. And Sasha's like, are you fucking kidding me? Look me in the eyes and tell me that. Bailey's like, well, I did. Not looking her in the face.
She also says, Jean-Paul, remember, she goes, well, I knew that you were going to betray me, but I was the one that threw the first punch.
Yes.
And then Sasha flipped out, and he's like, really? And then she went the whole thing. I like how she went throughout the whole story. Hey, I helped you out when we were in NXT. I helped you out to win your first Raw championship. I helped you out everywhere. Everything that you've done, I've been there, and I've helped you out. But you're just being an ungrateful bitch, and and at the Hell in a Cell, I'm gonna beat you up. It's like everything. I'm gonna end your reign as the SmackDown Women's Champion, and that will be the icing on the cake. That will be
What did you think about the little detail at the end where she didn't sign? That's the only thing I didn't like because I'm like, I don't want there to be bullshit next week where they have a big brawl and she beats her up and then she grabs Bailey's hand with the pen in it and signs Bailey and then it's like, oh yeah, I'll see you there. I just wish she would have signed it and then maybe next week we just see a video package and there's no face-to-face, there's no physical contact until the match. But I feel like next week that's when the brawl's really going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said, she didn't sign, so they're gonna have to do some kind of thing of fashion where she signs. Like you said, she's gonna attack her, and then what is gonna happen? And then she's gonna have the contract, and she's gonna sign it, so she gets the upper hand. But if Sasha beats her at Hell in a Cell, that will be amazing because that's the right way to finish this feud. This is just so good. And it's the only thing that is holding the show.
Yeah, Sasha has to win this, and it will be a good story. And then I don't know what. We said that WWE is giving people time off and this and that. This would be the perfect opportunity, if she wants it, to give Bailey, hey, take a month and a half off. You're legit. Just stay at home. We'll pay you. Obviously, when you come back, you'll be featured. But, she deserves a break.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. And that would be the perfect time because then you could plug in, the Bianca Belairs and they could have the time. And they could be okay. Because Bailey, then when she comes back, because you could sell it as an injury. From Hell in a Cell. So, boom, absolutely. Perfect.
You can sell it, and then it will be fine. And it will be fine, That's what they want to do. Jean Paul is going to be covering what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw because...
Unfortunately. No, it's legit.
No, we do it for you, family, but, he's going to be covering what happened, we got to see Randy Orton had the eyes and everything because, Hell in a Cell is going to be next Sunday, not this Sunday, the upcoming Sunday, and there's going to be the season premiere Monday Night Raw. So Jean Paul is going to be covering every single thing that happened during that show. So of course they have to hype it up.
Will it be good, family? Will they treat us good on a Tuesday morning? No.
Yeah, we'll see.
No.
We'll see.
No. What did Paul Heyman say? Spoiler. No.
It's spoiler. No. Yes, that's true. So Jean Paul, right there. We're gonna go back with like this guy looking like really, really good. Like he's ready to go.
He reminds me of like the Big Show. Like the look, because he's completely bald now with the long beard. He looks like the Big Show.
He's Paul White. Yeah. He's not Braun Strowman. He's Paul White. So like, but they're gonna have the championship match, and this was like 9:38 around that. So like I said, there's gonna be some crap here. There's gonna be
some tomfoolery.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bullshit going on, and the match was okay. We've seen these guys going so many times. What can they do different? That like the same. That's all the time. Nobody really cares about that, Jean Paul.
Yeah, for me. What did I say at the beginning of the show? I'm sure your sentiments are the same way. Braun Strowman's on Raw, and what did the NFL goons even say? They were like, "Oh yeah, what is Braun gonna come in here and take our championship back to Raw? I don't think so." And that Jay Glazer, who actually I he's not bad. I like him, but he was like, he's like that doesn't even make sense. Like that can't happen. And it's like, yeah, Jay, you're right. It doesn't make sense. So it won't happen. So this match is useless. It's only used to further the feud for Hell in a Cell with Jey Uso. And I had no investment. I'm just watching it and I'm just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah,
I wasn't like, oh, that's legit, or like, oh, when he countered the spear and did that slant. No, I didn't care because it didn't mean anything.
That's what I think, Jean Paul. So and they have the same spot right there when like he
Skittles. That's what I popped for Skittles.
The Skittles, and the spot
the low blow. He punched him in the Skittles.
Strowman is done, and then he actually submitted. So Roman going to a different route now. Kind of going like the Dean Ambrose or John Moxley way, right there.
I like that on a guy like Strowman because, I mean, like you said, it's the Dean Ambrose thing, like Lance Archer, Jake Hager, like you guys are all done. But it makes sense because I'd rather see him do that and choke a big guy because it's, his big neck and, Roman's big arms and it's like, you're choking him out versus just a one spear and done. Which he did kick out of a spear, I think.
Yes, he did kick out of the one.
So it's like, what are you going to do? Hit him with a spear? Like 3 Superman punches, a spear, and done? It's like, we've seen that. That's bullshit. But the choke, at least it's different. It came off the low blow. I would have rather seen him, not use the low blow and maybe hit Strowman over the head with the title or like hit him in the throat with the title or like a chair or something and then choke him. So it would have been like, he injured the neck and then choked him.
For him to tap because already the neck is injured.
Yes.
I get
because he punched him in the balls and then he tapped. If anything, he should have punched him in the balls and choked him out.
He just the submission on the balls, but that would be something for like the actor for Forbidden Films.
Yeah, or Dabba Kato.
Or Baba Ganoush or Le Freak. Freak and like Forbidden Films.
Super freaky.
Yeah, so we'll see. It didn't make a lot of sense. And then Roman went full flesh heel, and then he started to beating him up with like the chair. He really hitting Strowman. Jey Uso came out, and he's like, I do it for the family right there. He's like, now you do it, Oos. You do it, Oos. So like, I didn't really like this. I mean, like I said to you, this is like bad. Like, he's like, I do this for our family because of the tribal chief. I got to lead. So this is the kind of things that I got to do so I can keep the championship. Right, Paul? So, like, I was like, Look at that, Jean Paul. That's what happens when you watch 3 hours of Raw and 2 of SmackDown. You look like Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and I didn't like this just because, he cuts the same promo, the same thing, the food from my plate, why didn't you just call me the tribal chief and all this shit. And meanwhile, you have Strowman laying there who's like, and I'm like, what is this noise? And then it's like Strowman who's like dying in the corner, and I'm like, is he a monster or is he a mouse? Like, what's going on over here? And then he's like, oh, Jay beat him with the chair, and then you'll be legit. And then Jay starts attacking Roman, and it's like, okay, like you said, this is when it was like, okay, this is good. And then Roman, and then what happened? He gets the 2-second comeback and done.
Well, no, the even worse part, if you caught up into this, is like all of those securities and the referees and everybody, they hold Jay And out of nowhere, Roman gets, of course, like he is back to life and he does the Superman punch. I'm like, why are you holding Jay so he can punch him?
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
it's just so bad.
It's all political. It's like, even in the whole story, you see the politics in it. I'm like, I can. And then you give me with this face. Look at this face. Oh my God. So yeah, Hell in a Cell. I'm like, I don't care. This was a bad show, Jean Paul. That's all we can resume it as. It wasn't good. At the beginning of the season for SmackDown, we'll see if they hit big numbers. Stone Cold Steve Austin was like there, like everybody hyping on who's gonna win the Universal Championship match. Really? You already have a match for Hell in a Cell. You do think the title is going to change hands? Hell no, and Hell in a Cell. So no, it's not going to happen. So that was the end of it, Jean Paul. So this is what closes the show up. So right there, this is what we have for you guys. I think.
Yeah, and we're sorry that this is what we have because it wasn't very. Rope break was good. But the SmackDown, no.
No, if you're going to watch good reviews, go and watch, the NXT UK review because that's a great show. It's only an hour. It's beautiful. It just sells on its own. But this was just bad. And especially now that Alexa is gone, you can even, look at her. Selena, they didn't use her at all. Lacey's already in Raw. So, a lot of different changes. The only good thing, like Jean Paul said, is Bayley and Sasha. And it's just because that story sells anywhere. Anywhere. You can go to your high school gym and sell that story. It will be good. You can go anywhere. So, family, this is how we end the SmackDown review. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so very much for the comments. Jean-Paul, everybody, where they can find us in the social media.
Well, you can find us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, the original Rope Break right here on YouTube, and, of course, our newest home, alleverythingentertainment.com.
That's right, family. So, if find us any of those places that Jean-Paul said, All Everything Entertainment, our newest home, a lot of content right there for you guys. Any single topic, whatever you guys like, you can find it there. So, Jean-Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...